Hey guys, welcome back to my another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can use the bounce time and distinct until change on Angular. These are the RxJS operator, which we can use it, and this will be a very helpful at the time when we do our searching functionality, especially on the keyword, what we do. So on this video, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to make a little the search app, and in this search app, we're going to search the Google Books, and when we do a key op, when we type our key here in this search box, then it will search me the books here, and which I'm gonna do in this video. So let's begin. So I have already created this template here. This is really looking nice, really good template, and I'm gonna use exact same template. So basically, I'm gonna show you the guys the code. The first thing, let me make this a little bigger. So okay, let me make this. Let me make this that big. So the first, so this is the Angular app which I have called toolsets, and in this app I have the app.html. It's just a blank HTML page. It has some header here. It has some container. As you guys can see, this is my header and this is my container. And this is just HTML is written here. That's all. It doesn't have anything else. And it has a style sheet here. And these all are style which has been already been written. I wrote this everything just to make life easier so I don't have to write it down later on this video, so I just write it down. Okay, so now let me go back to this search and let me create another component. Okay, I have the component folder here, but I don't have any the component inside this. So let me generate a new component which is inside this component folder. So the component going to be of books. So I'm going to generate the component called books, and this going to generate inside the component folder right here. Okay, so books component has been generated. So the next step is I'm going to generate a new service as well. So I'm going to create the folder called service. So if you guys want to create a folder here, you just type a folder name, what you want to provide. And after the folder, you can provide the service name that you want. So I want the books service. So it's going to create me a books.service.ts file here. And this is my books, this is my service, looks good to me. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my section uh, div from the app component, and I'm going to call here the app books, and I'll just save this. I don't need this now, so I'll just close this. So basically I have a header and I'm calling the app books. So if you guys can see here, okay, the app books is on the back of this. It's there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in book.html and I'm going to paste that code here. So once I paste it, now I will see the same exact HTML which I showed you before, but in different component now. So now the next step is let me do some key op event here. So whenever we type any key, so it's going to show up something in the screen here. First in the console, so let me do that first. So this is my input type here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a key op here. And in a key op, now I'm going to type what the function is going to be on search. Okay, I'm going to call this on search here. So I'm going to back to the TS file here, and I'm going to create the onSearch functions here. And in onSearch, I can provide the event here. So inside this event, I can get this event from this input field, and I'm getting it right here. Just make this as any type, and I'm going to get the value of that input type, which I will get it. So I will get from event.target.value. So now I'm going to print this value to see what's the inside this value is. So I'm going to do a console log with the value. Okay. So now let me go to the here, make this console a little bigger. I'm getting this error because it's just an error from the Chrome. We don't have to worry about it. So now if I type A, so now A will print out A or TEST, then A and TEST will print out TEST. TEST. If I type really fast, then it's going to print. Of course, it's going to call multiple times because I type really fast here. But anyway, the key of function is working, which is good, what we need. So now we need to call the API here. So I'll just call something called get books. So I'm need to call the service here. So we have created the service file, but we haven't created anything inside it. So let me create something here called get books. And for this one, I need to call the HTTP client. And let me get the HTTP client here. Okay, so now it doesn't know where to get the HTTP clients. So I'll just tell that, okay, you need to get from the Angular. Angular provide that. So HTTP right here. So now I'm going to use the HTTP. So I put the independent injection here. I want to use this, and I could use the HTTP client, and I can use the get functions. In the get, now we will get the API. So this is the URL from the Google Books, which we can search of books here. And I'm going to concatenate the search bar here. Of course, you can also send in a param if you guys like it, but for now, I will just send it in a query right here. I'll make this a little bigger query right here, right? This is going to be a value, and we'll provide this value on here. The value is here. We're providing the value, and this I'm going to return this and make this as observable of any. Okay, so now it's going to give me a Google Books, and another important thing we need to put it is we use HTTP client, and we need to tell our Angular project or our modules that we are using the HTTP client modules. Okay, otherwise this would not even work. Make this H is capital, I believe. Yeah. Okay, there's no way to get from. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this instead of typing. I'm gonna paste it here and just change the name HTTP client to modules here. Okay, so now I added the HTTP client modules in my app component, which is my main component, so I could able to use this HTTP clients here. Okay, and my service is pretty much ready. So now I need to call from my books component, which is I have it here. So in a get books, now I need to also do a dependency injection of the books component, book service, which I just created. So I'm gonna add this quickly here, book service. Of course, now it doesn't know where to get the book service from, and we just need to literally tell here my okay, and okay, no, it's not going from Angular, guys. It's a custom made by us, so we need to provide it. Okay, let me see where we can get this from. Go back. Here is a service, and here is a book service. So now I got the book service. Now I just need to use that service. So I'll just book service that get books, and I will get the observables. So I will can do a subscribe here, and I can show a data in the console log. And these books require the search field value, and the value will provide the value in these functions. And if there is any error, then we can take care of the error here as well, or we can take care in service. I think it's better to take care in service, but I'll just print it out here. So I'll just put the error here, console log error for now. Okay. So now we have this. So every time we change our keyword and search, then this is going to trigger and this is going to call this get books. So let me call this get books. So now I will show you guys what really going to happen. So whenever I clean this first, so whenever I click it here, okay, it's going to try to call our API here, but I think I put the wrong URL there. Let me check back to the service. HTTP clients. Okay, let me check what it says. Google Books doesn't even find it. Okay, it's concatenating somehow with my the guy because I put a code here mistakenly, so that's why that's it happened. So now let me try again. So now let me, if I do A, then it's going to call the source of books with the A. If I type something called B, then it's going to call AB and search the books AB. If I do T, then same one. E, then it's going to call. So every time whenever we type a key, then it's going to call the API, which we doesn't even need it because the reason behind it is not really good for performance and it's really hard for server to give you guys a response as well. So for to make it a little better, life better for servers, especially for servers, we can use the bounce time on our key op event. So whenever we type our key op event, then we can use a debounce. So debounce is basically we will just use something like a set timeout. So whenever we type our key, and after we type our key after like 1 second, we can call the API. So whenever we type a key, after like a couple of seconds, we call the API. That's how the debounce time work. And another way what we can use to make it better is it's distinct until change. And I'm going to show you the example how it looks like. Okay. So the first thing what we need to achieve is whenever we whenever we type a key here, then we need to get the observables from this one. Okay, from this event. So we can put that the two operator from RxJS on this event, not in services, because services is going to call only once whenever we get the subscribe from this event right here on key up. So what we're gonna do, there are multiple ways you can do. Uh, there is two ways that I could think of to do, but there could be more. But the first thing what I'm going to show you guys is using a subject. So let me go to the subject. So let me create a new subject here, subject for key op subject, and this is going to be subject of what? Of any type, doesn't even matter for now. So this is a key op subject. So whenever we click on this on search functions, so what we need is we need us this using this subject, and we can add the new value property, or we can provide anything in the next, and we can create a message of stream now. That's what it does now. So what we're gonna do is whenever we get this value, we're gonna put this value in here. So we don't want to call this getBook, so I'm get rid of this, and I don't want this at all. I'm gonna want to get rid of that one too. So what really does now, whenever we put our key, then it's going to put our key in this subject. So subject has a bunch of chains. It will create a chain of these values what we provided here in the next. So the first value is going to provide is whatever we provide our data such as a. So now in next it added a. If I do a d, then it's added a d here. So how we know how we can get this value is using also a subject here. So the first thing is whenever we provide a next value, we need to get this value using the subscribe. So let me create here in ng. So whenever this app is going to load, then it's going to check that this subject keyword has some values or not. Okay, so here we can do or subscribe here. So whenever we type something here event, then it's going to print it right here in subscribe. So now let me see what it really does. If I type a, then see a is going to print. If I type ad, then ad is going to this is exactly how the key of event is work, but using this subject, because we want to get the the observables, and subject will provide our so the observables. All right, it's providing the observables, so we could use the pipe, and we can use a bunch of stuff. So now let me use here the couple of the operator, and using the pipe. In the pipe we can chain the operator here. So the first operator which I'm going to show you is the bounce time, right? The bounce time. Okay, we need to manually tell that we need to get this debounce time. If I uh, type correctly here from our RxJS slash operator, that's what we need here. So okay, the bounce time is there, so we can tell that the bounce time is 1 second. So after 1 second, this is going to print now. So now I'm going to show you what happened. If I click it A, so after 1 second, it's going to print, right? So if I do a test, then after 1 second, it's going to print. So debounce times will really help you whenever the user is typing here, something like that. And after typing is done, then it will call the API. That's what we need. It's going to call the API. So here, what we can do, we can call the get books, and I'm going to I'm going to put the value here, which is going to be D. So now what happened is every time when the user is done with the typing, right? Done with the typing, and after 1 second it's going to call the API. So this will definitely reduce the amount of the call from server. And but if the user would type something in the middle and just wait for a little bit, now the API will call again. But if you want to do this, then it's going to call again, right? That's what it really does. It will call again. But of course, it's better to put here a loading bar. So let me print these books here in a screen so we can see. So let me go to the we already got these books, right? And where is the books? Okay, we got these books here, and we're getting the subscriptions here. But you know what? I don't want to do subscriptions here. I'm just gonna put this as observable, called books observables. So books observables. So I'm gonna create a new observable for this books and books. Yep, this books, and I'm gonna use directly these books in my HTML file on this here. So here is my list. So I'm going to remove the bottom list, which I don't need it. So I'm going to put here the ng4 for now. Okay, and left. I'm going to loop this using the books, and I need to use the async call because it's going to return me observables here. So now, of course, let me see, is there any error? I don't think any error, but if I do it, then of course, okay, the problem is that these books uh, will return me something which is not expecting by the HTML guy. So we need to check, or let me check what is really going to return first. I think it's going to return some item stuff. So you know what? Yeah, I know what's going to return. So what we need to change something on our service. Because the books is returning, it's not going to return an array, it's going to return an object, I believe. The first thing we can check, of course. Let me do here to check. Let me write the one more operator here. Pipe. In a pipe, in the map, we can modify the data what we are getting on it. So let me check what data we got first, and of course we're going to return it, otherwise it's going to complain because it's expecting some issue here. Okay, let me fix this issue here first. This is a pipe. Okay, save. Why this is getting an error here? Okay, but the pipe is here. Got it. So now we need to use map. We're just modifying this data. So return D for now, and return the map. Nope, like this. Hold on. Oh, I need to make sure that I'm writing a right the operator here. Yep, I have a map. I'm going to do one more time. Map, I'll get a D, and I'll just use a D here. Okay, looks good. So now what I want to print here first. I'll return this D. Looks good. So now I want to go here with the console log D. So now I'm going to show you what really happens. So whenever we type A, it's going to print me the object here first, and it's printing from service. And see, this will provide me object, but we want the items on it. So what we really need is we just modify it using the map operator here. So what we really need to do is pretty straightforward. We just need to d dot items. We need to provide it and save it. And of course, it's going to complain. So we'll just tell the type is any. So now, so whenever we do a, so now it's going to return me the object here, and here it is. Of course, this is not the giving me a same object which I'm expecting because I need to provide this information such as like this informations inside it, right? So let me put that one as well for quickly. So in the books here, this is an image. So what's the image? Where we can get this image from? I think it's a cell info. No, nope, it's not cell info. Let me volume. Image link right here. It's a volume info dot image link. Okay, so here I just remove this first, and I just remove this first, and I will bind the source of image to volume info dot, what was the property called? Image, not image links, I believe. Let me see. Is there a there should be something called I just want to make sure that I'm adding the right property here. So you know what? Let me put it in console so I can see it better. I can even see it well there. What are the property of this? The books is going to return it for now. So let me do this comment for now, and let me go to the service. And of course, service is going to return. It's fine. And let me go in the books and let me write a subscribe here for now. I just want to see the value first. Of course, we can get see the value on service as well, but I'm just going to see the value, what is going to return. So now if I go into A and here it is, of course we need to fix this. And let me see the value here, cell info. Okay, so the volume info got the image links and image links. Okay, it's called image links. Guys, so in the volume info dot got image links. And what was the image links? Image link has a thumbnail, so I'll put something called thumbnail here. So go back here, thumbnail. I'll save this. And is there any title now? I want title too, right? So if I do it here, I need a title as well. So title is going to be the volume info dot title, I believe. I saw something called title. Okay, that's all I'm gonna put it here. I'm not gonna put more, no more than that. So volume info. So I'll just print it out. Volume info dot title. Okay, and I want to remove this subscribe function from here. I don't want this subscribe function now. So save it. So now let's see what it really does. If I do A, then yep, here is a books and here is the field of it. So now let me get back to the bounce time. So I'm going to show you what the debounce time does is whenever we now type a test, it's not going to call the API. After 1 second, it's going to call the API, and this will really help you for your performance of your project. So this is the how the debounce times work, and I'm going to show you the last operator here called distinct until change. So on here on the key op on subject, what we can use is we can use a distinct until change. So what really does is, I'm going to show you what really does first. So now I added a distinct until change operator. So what it really does is whenever we type something here, such as like test, of course it's going to search in one after 1 second test. But let's say we delete quickly, we delete st and we put st back again. So it doesn't call the API because this thing until change will thought that this the key of the subscription what we type it here it's already been called and we don't have to do anything. If we remove this, then of course it's going to call that API again. I'm going to show you how. If I do test, it's going to call the API, and if I remove it and call it st, then it's going to call again. See, it's going to call again. So this would be really helpful at the time of searching this as well. That's all for this video, guys, and I hope you guys learned something new. And thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna create a more programming tricks, tips videos on these channels. And if you guys like my videos and learn something new, please do subscribe. And cheers. Thanks. Bye.